A 22-year-old college senior vanished from her own home in the middle of the night. No signs of a struggle, no warning. Within hours, police would uncover a reality so chilling it would shock an entire nation. Her name was Eve Carson, and by every measure, she was extraordinary. This is not just the story of a crime. It is the story of a life filled with promise, and how a random act of violence reshaped a community, a life marked by purpose. Eve Carson was born on November 19, 1985, in Athens, Georgia. From an early age, she stood out, not because she demanded attention, but because she earned respect. In high school, she served as vice president of student council. She volunteered at a nursing home and a shelter for abused teens. She worked as a congressional page. She even assisted in a stem cell research lab, all while excelling academically. After graduating with honors, she enrolled at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, pursuing a double major in political science and biology. Her academic performance earned her a highly competitive scholarship. On campus, she became a visible leader in student organizations, but her work extended beyond the university. She taught science at a local elementary school. She volunteered abroad, spending a summer assisting doctors in Ecuador, studying in Cuba, and participating in research in Egypt. She had already secured a job offer from a major company before graduating. Her future was not uncertain. It was unfolding exactly as planned. By February 2008, Eve was 22 years old and in her final year of college. She was living off campus with close friends. Her life was structured, ambitious, and full of momentum. No one imagined it was nearing its end. The disappearance. On March 5th, around 1:30 a.m., Eve's roommates left for a party. They invited her to join them. She declined. She had classes to prepare for and chose to stay home to study. When they returned around 4:30 a.m., something felt wrong. The front door was wide open. The lights were on. Eve was gone. So was her car. They tried calling her. No answer. At first, they hoped something unexpected had come up. Maybe she stepped out briefly. Maybe she would walk back through the door at any moment. But morning came, and she didn't. By the next day, a friend made the call to police. What officers revealed next was devastating. A body found. Earlier that same morning, around 5 a.m., police had responded to a call from a woman who lived about a mile from Eve's home. She had woken to the sound of gunfire. Then, a scream. When officers arrived, they found the body of a young woman lying on the ground. She had no identification, no phone. She had been shot multiple times. When police showed a photo to Eve's friend, recognition was immediate. It was her.
We recount the events surrounding the tragic, senseless death of UNC Chapel Hill student body president Eve Carson. The uneasiness began on campus early Wednesday morning, and the initial reports were sketchy.
Chapel Hill police told us only that they were trying to identify the body of a young woman found in the middle of the intersection of Hillcrest Road and Hillcrest Circle.
From 1:30 a.m., when she was studying at home, to 5 a.m., when her body was found a mile away, 4 hours had passed. The questions were urgent. How did she get there? And who was responsible? Early clues and a missing car. Eve's car was missing. Her wallet and credit cards were gone. Investigators suspected robbery. The medical examiner confirmed there were no signs of sexual assault. That ruled out one possible motive. Her phone records showed the last signal had pinged from a tower near a highway outside town. The phone itself was never recovered. Then police located her car, abandoned just a few miles away. It was sent for fingerprint and DNA analysis. Forensic experts examined her computer and found it had been active until around 3:30 a.m. That meant she remained at home for nearly 2 hours after her roommates left. Somewhere between 3:30 and 5 a.m., she was forced from her home and taken a mile away. The campus community began to grieve and to fear. The ATM footage. The breakthrough came from financial records. Just 18 minutes after Eve last used her computer, someone withdrew $700 from her account in 2 separate ATM transactions. Attempts to withdraw more failed due to the daily limit. Police obtained surveillance footage from the ATM. The video showed a man inside Eve's car using her card. In the back seat, there appeared to be another figure. Investigators feared it might be Eve, but the image quality was too poor to confirm. The suspect attempted additional withdrawals across the city, but most ATMs lacked cameras. On March 7th, at 12:30 a.m., another attempt was made, this time at a 24-hour convenience store with a working security camera. The footage showed someone using Eve's card, but it wasn't the same man seen in the first video. Now investigators believed more than one person was involved. Police released the surveillance images to the public. The case had already captured national attention. Tips flooded in. None led to arrests. Until March 12th, a name emerges. An anonymous caller claimed to recognize the man in the convenience store footage. His name was Dario Atwater. At just 21 years old, Atwater already had a long criminal record, including robbery, assault, and drug offenses. He had been released early from prison on multiple occasions. 2 days after Eve's murder, he was scheduled to appear in court for carrying a handgun while on probation. Detectives compared his mugshot to the footage. The resemblance was undeniable. He lived a short distance from the convenience store. Police arrested him. Further investigation revealed frequent contact between Atwater and a 17-year-old named Lawrence Levet. When investigators reviewed Levet's mugshot, they immediately recognized him as the driver in the first ATM footage. Unlike Atwater, Levet barricaded himself inside his home. A SWAT team was called in. Both were taken into custody. The crime unfolds. Cell phone data placed both suspects near Eve's neighborhood the night of the murder, even though they lived in another city. Detectives concluded the attack was random. According to Atwater's later confession, he and Levet had set out simply to commit a robbery for quick cash. They drove through a neighborhood near campus and spotted Eve inside her home. They broke in, armed with guns. They forced her into her own car and drove from ATM to ATM, attempting to drain her account. After reaching the $700 limit, they drove her to a wooded area. Throughout the ordeal, Eve begged to be released. She promised she wouldn't report them. Atwater admitted they decided to kill her because she had seen their faces. Just moments before her death, Eve asked them to pray with her. They shot her multiple times with 2 different weapons. She was left on a quiet street. The trials. Prosecutors sought the death penalty for Atwater. In exchange for removing that possibility, he pleaded guilty and confessed. In April 2010, he was sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years. Levet chose to go to trial. In December 2011, he was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. In 2013, his sentence was overturned due to a ruling against mandatory life without parole for juveniles. He was granted a new trial. Once again, he received a life sentence. Levet had also been considered a suspect in a similar home invasion murder months earlier, though charges were dropped due to insufficient evidence. A legacy beyond the crime. Eve Carson's death prompted change. North Carolina lawmakers passed legislation imposing stricter penalties and procedures for gang-related crimes. At her university, a scholarship was established in her name. A memorial garden was created to honor her life. In February 2009, one of her close friends became a finalist on American Idol. He said Eve's death inspired him to take risks and pursue his dreams. Her influence did not disappear with her life. It expanded. Eve Carson was not targeted because of who she was. She was chosen at random, simply because she was home alone. Her story forces difficult questions about chance, violence, and justice. It reveals how quickly safety can be shattered. But it also reminds us of something else. A life cannot be reduced to the way it ended. Eve was a scholar, a volunteer, a leader, a daughter, a friend. Her story is remembered not only because of the crime, but because of the life that preceded it and the changes that followed. And in that remembrance, her impact continues.